Welcome back to TechBlog 66, your trusted channel for deep, engaging, and spoiler-safe movie reviews. Today, we're taking a closer look at the 2010 crime thriller, No Mercy, featuring the seasoned and charismatic Richard Gere. Although this film didn't receive as much mainstream attention as many of his earlier works, it delivers a dark, intense, and surprisingly emotional experience that deserves a fresh re-examination. In this vlog, we'll break down the storyline, the performances, the direction, and the film's overall impact, all in a clear, friendly, and YouTube monetization-friendly way. So let's begin. No Mercy, 2010, is a slow-burn crime drama that revolves around a determined detective who finds himself trapped in a dangerous cycle of revenge, violence, and emotional trauma. Richard Gere portrays a character whose life is defined by responsibility, moral boundaries, and personal guilt. What stands out in this movie is the mature tone and the emphasis on psychological depth rather than fast action. Instead of leaning on flashy scenes, the film focuses on tension, human mistakes, and the consequences of choices that spiral beyond control. This gives the movie a methodical pace that gradually pulls viewers into its dark atmosphere. Richard Gere delivers a calm yet powerful performance. His character is not a typical action hero, instead, he is a man shaped by life's difficult realities. Gere plays the detective with subtle expressions, tired eyes, measured speech, and a sense of emotional weight that he carries quietly from scene to scene. His portrayal makes the narrative more believable, as he brings a grounded and relatable dimension to the role. Instead of relying on dramatic gestures, Gere maintains restraint, allowing the emotional turmoil to simmer beneath the surface. This approach helps the audience connect with his inner struggle without needing exaggerated scenes. The film also features an ensemble cast that supports Gere's performance well. Each character adds a layer to the story, whether through conflict, emotional tension, or suspenseful interactions. The side characters are not simply props for the main storyline, they carry personal motives and backstories that affect the detective's journey. Their presence keeps the narrative dynamic and unpredictable. Every conversation and encounter feels meaningful, contributing to the unfolding mystery. One of the strengths of No Mercy is its storytelling method. The plot doesn't rely on constant movement or loud moments, instead, it builds a sense of unease through careful pacing. The detective's investigation leads him into morally complex situations where the difference between right and wrong becomes unclear. This blurring of ethical boundaries is a major theme in the film. As he uncovers more details, his emotional involvement deepens, and the choices he faces grow increasingly difficult. The movie uses this structure to keep viewers engaged, encouraging them to think along with the main character rather than simply watch from the outside. Visually, the film uses a darker color palette, emphasizing shadows, night scenes, and indoor locations. This gives the movie a gritty tone that matches the heavy subject matter. The cinematography is clean and steady, avoiding shaky camera movements. Instead of sensational action, the film uses carefully framed shots to communicate tension. Many scenes are composed with close-up angles to highlight facial expressions and subtle emotions. This style keeps the audience focused on the psychological drama rather than external chaos. The soundtrack of No Mercy complements the atmosphere well. Instead of loud or dramatic musical cues, the film uses minimalistic background score to enhance suspense. Soft pulsating tones, quiet orchestral textures, and ambient sound effects help build emotional tension. The music doesn't take over the scenes, rather, it supports them, creating an immersive environment without distracting from the performances. This subtle approach to sound design suits the movie's slow-burn storytelling style. One aspect that stands out is the script's emphasis on consequences. The movie shows how a single decision can lead to a chain of events that becomes hard to control. The detective's journey illustrates how personal struggles can interfere with professional duties, creating conflict both internally and externally. The film doesn't glorify violence or revenge, instead, it highlights the emotional and moral cost of such actions. This gives No Mercy a more mature tone compared to typical crime thrillers. Another notable feature is the movie's realistic portrayal of investigation work. Instead of portraying the detective as an invincible hero, the film shows him as a vulnerable human being who makes mistakes and deals with pressure. The investigation unfolds in a grounded manner, with the detective following clues, interviewing people, and piecing together information step by step. The movie avoids unrealistic shortcuts, making the process feel authentic. This adds realism and enhances the emotional impact of the final reveal. The direction is steady and confident. The filmmaker maintains control over the pacing, allowing the story to develop naturally without rushing. Scenes transition smoothly, and each moment serves a purpose. The director does not overload the audience with excessive twists, instead, the film's surprises arrive gradually and logically. This gives viewers enough time to absorb each development. The editing is clean, focusing on character reactions and subtle tension rather than flashy transitions. Overall, the direction keeps the storytelling coherent and emotionally focused. Now, while No Mercy may not appeal to viewers who prefer fast-paced action movies, it strongly appeals to audiences who enjoy psychological thrillers and character-driven narratives. Its greatest strengths lie in its emotional intensity, moral ambiguity, and the depth of Richard Gere's performance. Anyone who appreciates complex storytelling will find the film gripping, thought-provoking, and rewarding. Its pacing may feel slow at times, but this deliberate rhythm enhances the suspense and helps build a meaningful atmosphere. In conclusion, No Mercy, 2010, is a well-crafted and emotionally engaging crime thriller that benefits from Richard Gere's mature and controlled performance. The movie focuses on psychological depth rather than spectacle, making it a refreshing change from typical action-focused crime dramas. With strong performances, carefully constructed tension, grounded storytelling, and a realistic portrayal of moral conflict, the film offers an intense and gripping cinematic experience. If you enjoy detective stories that explore human nature and the consequences of difficult choices, then this movie is definitely worth watching. This movie is available on YouTube free.